Will unrealized taxation, so having to pay taxes for unrealized profits, crash Bitcoin? This is what's kind of the latest talks right now, especially Bitcoin hitting 50,000. Obviously, the media is running those stories. So, in today's video, I want to take a deeper look and give you a bit of my short term, mid term, long term probability and direction on what this could mean for Bitcoin. A lot of fun in today's video. Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you cryptofit. I discuss the beautiful world of decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, most of all Bitcoin. And today it's pretty much on Bitcoin, and I'll talk about unrealized gains taxation. So having to pay taxes on gains that you haven't realized, you haven't sold them yet. If you're new to the channel and you like this stuff, you want to click the subscribe button, you want to follow me, you want to, well, click the bell icon, make sure you stay updated. If you're listening to this on a podcast, then yeah, click the subscribe button to the podcast. If you're back, hey, welcome back. Do me a favor, click the upvote button. We have been doing really well with the upvote button. You know how it works. The more upvotes, the higher the Bitcoin price goes. And we just hit $50,000 in Bitcoin today. So yay, that's really, really awesome. But so obviously, as soon as we have some positive news, always the negative news kind of come up. And yeah, so let's do a bit of a screen share. And specifically, but I mean, the same kind of news here was shared pretty much everywhere. Some titles like this: US government won't allow corporates to keep replacing dollars. Or with the upcoming taxation on the assets, Bitcoin is gonna crash. And it's all kind of goes into the same direction, right? Bitcoin, I mean, I think we corrected slightly. We're at like 49,000 now. Yeah, so, I mean, we're close to an all-time high here. The all-time high was 50,000. Obviously, very, very bullish over the past couple of days. Obviously, we have those road bumps. And always remember, at the moment, we're in a bull market. You want to buy weakness, right? As soon as you see a coin dip and it's a coin you like, you want to kind of get in and, well, you want to buy, right? So a key thing in this. Yeah, so buy weakness in a bull market. But so what I want to address now is, well, that US governments won't allow corporates to keep replacing dollars with Bitcoin. And so it was all about, obviously, Tesla and Elon Musk. And then suddenly there was these newspaper articles that came out and said, no, the government is not going to allow this. And then there were suddenly all these Bitcoin maximalists coming out and saying, oh, this is a total lie. Of course, the government will allow this because now everything is kind of behind this. And so what I want to tell you a bit is what I think is going to happen here. And to, yeah, if you don't want to actually get into the nitty gritty of this, the short answer is, of course, the government is not going to like this. And of course, the government will not ban Bitcoin. Because it can't. Bitcoin is a form of free speech in the US, at least, especially as cryptography. So of course it won't ban Bitcoin, but, and we see this, it will regulate exchanges. Of course it will regulate the on and off ramps. And of course it will make it harder for people to buy Bitcoin. And of course, and now let's get into the nitty gritty here, of course, they will actually start taxing unrealized gains. And Naval here has had this really nice kind of tweet. He posted this like coincidentally 5 days ago. And so he said, the road to socialism via inflation. And come on, if you don't see that we're having inflation, I mean, what? Bitcoin's up, what? 500% more, 600% from last year till right now. But let's say 500%, right? Ethereum has been booming. DeFi chain, come on, in the last half year, 30x or whatever up, insane amounts. Gold is up, stocks crazy up, everything has been going up, except for the consumer price index, because that's the only thing the government is measuring, and that's how it's lying to people that there's no inflation. Of course there's massive inflation. So I'm not criticizing that per se, I'm just saying that this is the very likely road that we're gonna see. So we see money printing, we crash the reserve currency, we destroy the savers, and we force people, or the government forces people into inflated assets. And that's what's going to happen. Now, that's the trick now. It's the same trick that's happening here. Do you think Bitcoin is going up because 5 times more people from last year till right now want to buy Bitcoin? No. The reason Bitcoin went up so much is because there's just so much free money and everyone's sitting on this pile of money and people don't even know where to invest their money anymore, especially if you're wealthy. I get it. If you're on the poor side, it's the exact opposite. You've been struggling. But so a lot of the wealthy, high net worth individuals, they're sitting there and they don't even know where to put their money anymore. So they invest in Bitcoin and that's what pumps the price. So you need to do something about it. Are you gonna say, hey, Bitcoin is illegal? Of course not, because it doesn't really work and it's not, at the end, it causes a problem. So what you're doing is, you're gonna go and you're gonna talk to the poor people, and that's what Naval shares so well here. So you demonize all the asset holders. So you demonize, and it's probably not only gonna affect Bitcoin, it's gonna affect other assets as well, but you're gonna start with those where all the new wealth is coming from, right? So you're gonna start and you're gonna say, hey, look, there's all these Bitcoin people. Come on, look, they invested all this money. Now they have all the millions and billions, and this money should actually go to you, the poor people. Shouldn't we tax them 25% on unrealized gains? Even if it's just 5%, 10%. Do you know what's going to happen? If someone needs to pay 5% or 10% on unrealized gains as profit, that's just going to be insane. There's going to be so much selling pressure, and that's going to cause a total spiral. It's the same in any asset, right? But Bitcoin, obviously, key concept here. And if you think that this is not going to happen, I think you have your little pink goggle glasses on and all of that. Because last time I checked, no government in the world voluntarily wants to give up its power. So you need to understand that this will happen eventually. And you just need to prepare yourself for that, right? So what are the options that you can do? The very first question, right? Or the first option, that's something I've been discussing so often here on this channel, and I hope you've been doing this. How many Bitcoins do you actually own? And that's a very key concept and a very important part of the question. How many do you actually own? And let's say you own half a Bitcoin. Of course, you're going to pay your 10% on the half Bitcoin, unrealized gain. There is no way around it, depending on which jurisdiction you live in. And that actually brings me to the second part. You're not a tree. If it gets really, really crazy, you just need to pick the countries that don't enforce that or that don't ask you to do that. Now, sometimes this might be a bit harder than somewhere else, but that's at the end what you need to do. You're not a tree. So keep that in mind in all of that, right? But then the last part is just that understand at the end, these are only, and this is the key concept now, these are only short-term measurements that the government can do. And these are just short-term measurements as insofar as you need to understand a lot of the price movement right now also has to do because of there being more monetary units in the system. So of course the price is going to go up, and I made a lot of videos on these concepts. So obviously when the government starts taxing, it doesn't change the underlying value. Just as right now the value doesn't change, but because there's so many more units, the price has been going up so crazily. So in the future, the value is still the same, but the price is going down. So that's a key concept. So such unrealized tax payments will hurt the price short term, maybe also midterm. But in the long term, value is value, and people will always recognize value. And again, the fundamental thing of Bitcoin cannot be taken away. So you need to understand that. But you also really need to get what's going to happen. And you should not be buying into the concept that the government will never tax unrealized gains, that the government will always think that Bitcoin is great. It won't. It has no incentive to do so. The US government needs to keep the dollar strong. It needs to make sure that the dollar stays a reserve currency. It will. And any kind of other narrative you're trying to push, I think it's naive. I just think it's naive. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. That's a bit of all this news and blah, blah, blah out there. Yeah, let me know in the comments. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that's your last chance. Subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.